intermediate practice, right? I hope you're ready for today, and I hope you're having a great Saturday so far. If this is your first time here, our practice is divided into three different moments. First, we read the material, we explore the material, all right? We read the questions. I answer these questions with my personal answers so you can learn a little bit more about myself, and also you can check new structures and vocabulary to answer the questions, okay? So first, all microphones are muted. After we finish reading, we divide you into smaller groups so you can practice with one another. And at the end, you return to this room automatically and we wrap up today's practice, okay? Remember that it is important that you have the material on your computer so you can follow the questions, so you can, after we divide you, you can ask one another. So please download the material, okay? Very nice. So let's do it. Let me share my screen with you. There you are. So conversation practice intermediate. Question number 1. Have you ever turned a hobby into a job or side project? So look, have you ever turned a hobby into a job or side project? What I'm asking you is, have you ever had a hobby that you were so good at it that it became your job or that it became a side project? It was something that you did along your job in a different area so you could get some extra money, for example. Has it ever happened to you? If so, what was your hobby? In my case, I can say that English was my hobby because it is something that I started studying really young. So it was my hobby, right? And it became my profession. So early on in my life, it became my profession. So I can say that yes, studying English was a hobby that turned into a job, into a profession, into a career nowadays. All right? What about you? Have you ever turned a hobby into a job or side project? Number 2, second question. Is there a hobby you would like to start but you haven't had the chance yet? Why? So, is there a hobby you would like to start, but you haven't had the chance yet? So, chance is like the opportunity, all right? So, is there a hobby that you wanted to start, but you didn't have the opportunity for many reasons? If so, why? Why didn't you have the chance? My case, I've seen many people running, right? Have you ever seen many people nowadays, they go running, practicing this sport, and many people have it as a hobby, right? So I would like to start this hobby, but I haven't had the chance because I know that for you to start running, you have to have a physical preparation, right? It's not just, oh, I'm gonna start running and then I go to the middle of the street and start running. No, I'm gonna get injured. I know that, so I'm not gonna do that. I have to start preparing myself for that. And I don't feel that I have the time. So I haven't done that yet, but it's on my list. What about you? Is there a hobby? And look, notice the sound of hobby. We pronounce the H as hobby, all right? It comes deep from your lungs, like hobby. So, is there a hobby you would like to start but haven't had the chance yet, and why? Number 3, another thing. Here, these two questions, we are using the present perfect, right? Here we have two situations. Have you ever is a structure to ask if you did something in any moment of your life in the past, but we are not being precise about when it happened. I don't care when it happened. All I care is it happened, all right? So this is the thing with present perfect. It is about something in the past, but the focus is in the past. The focus is the action, okay? I don't want to know like, oh, I turned my hobby into a job in 2005. No, this is not the information I want. All I want to know if you did it. All I want to know is the action, right? The same thing here. So haven't had, I don't care when you didn't have the chance. Like, oh, I didn't have the chance to go running last week. No, this is not the point. The point is the action. So present perfect is about the past, but it focuses on action. It doesn't focus on when, like the date in 2005. No, I don't care about the day. I care about the action, okay? Number 3, third question. Do you prefer doing hobbies alone or with other people, and why? Do you prefer doing hobbies alone or with other people, and why? So look, I'm the kind of person who loves to do things alone. I love when, especially when you can like put on your earplugs and listen to music. You know, I like to do it. I like to put on my earplugs and I listen to music. I'm doing my things alone. I like this, but I know there are some hobbies that you have to do with other people, right? You have to. They are kind of social hobbies. And I know that. So I would say that I prefer doing alone, but I know that it is important to do some hobbies with some people, depending on the kind of hobby, right? For example, nowadays I practice Pilates. It is not exactly a hobby. It is a physical activity, but I consider it a hobby because I think it's fun. So I do it. I can't do it alone. I can't put on my earplugs and listen to music. I can't because there is a teacher, there are colleagues. We do it in the same space, so we have to do it together. Even though I'm doing the exercises by myself, but I'm in a room with people. So it depends on the kind of activity. If I could, I would put on my earplugs and listen to music. I can't, so I interact, I enjoy the moment. What about you? Do you prefer doing hobbies alone or with other people? And why? All right? Number 4. Do you think having hobbies is important for mental health? Why or why not? So look, today we're talking about hobbies. This is something that we have agreed on. But I want to know if you think that it's important for your mental health. Is it something that you think like, oh no, I do it because I feel very anxious and having a hobby helps me to low down my anxiety, right? I think so. I totally think so. I think that having hobbies is very important, especially nowadays. Nowadays, things are very stressful, very anxious, right? It's very easy for us to become anxious, to become stressed. So, absolutely, I think that we have to have hobbies as a way of relaxing. Even if you do like active activity, for example, running. I know that when you are running, you are not thinking about work. You're not running and think, oh, tomorrow I have a meeting. What am I going to talk about my meeting? And then running. No, you focus on the activity. And I think this is the goal. Number 5, if you had more free time, what new hobby would you like to pick up? I know that you know this vocabulary, to pick up. You know to pick up as when you go to, if you have a child, your child is at school and you go to school to pick her up, right? And bring home. This is to pick up. This is one meaning of to pick up, all right? We have another meaning. To pick up can also be to choose. When you have like a selection of things and you pick up one of these things, you pick up almost as physically, all right? So for example, if let's suppose that I have these 3 pens, I'm gonna pick up one. So I pick up. I choose one from the 3. This is also to pick up, all right? So if you had more free time, what new hobby would you like to pick up? All right, would you like to choose and get it for yourself? Okay, good. So I would do running. I would improve my reading. I would like to start writing. There is one category of writing that is called creative writing, and I would love to do that. I think it would be really fun. These 3 activities. And number 6, do you think it's important for people to discover new hobbies, and why? Absolutely. I think that whenever we find a new hobby, we find new abilities, we find new skills, we start doing things that we didn't know we could do, but we can. So I think that hobbies are important for us to know more about ourselves, to know more about our abilities, our skills. So absolutely, I think that it is important. People should have a moment in their lives to find the things that they like, their tastes, to know themselves better. And I think that hobbies are a great way to doing so. All right, very good. So these are the 6 questions we're exploring today. These are my answers, so you can have like an example on how to answer, all right? But now it's up to you. Now it's your turn, all right? Reforçando, lembrando que durante a nossa prática nós não temos telespectadores, tá? Então, se a tua ideia era hoje entrar e só observar, só ver como que é e não deseja, não tem o plano de participar da prática,